Hey, good morning, guys. This is Treveal C.W. Lynch, Mr. What, and this is the I Am the Possible universe, the broadcast and the podcast. And before we get into anything else, I want to, number one, I want to welcome you into the universe as my very special guest. And then secondly, I want to really set the intention. I want to set the moment. Here in the I Am the Possible universe, our intention, our purpose, our mission is to help revive, right? To help individuals revive their hope for what's possible in your life. And we accomplish this mission in two very specific ways. Number one, we share information, inspiration around those things that produce, right? What's possible in your life. And then we also bring awareness. We expose things that prevent what's possible for your life. And today we're going to be discussing something that I find prevents our possible, right? That challenges us in producing what's possible in our lives. This week, I want to talk about the idea of being small in our own eyes, where it matters most, right? Being small, feeling insignificant, feeling unimportant, feeling like the world is overlooking you, right? I know for many years in my own personal life, I did not care very much about myself because I didn't see the role I played in this large, overwhelming thing called life or society or reality, right? I didn't feel very important. I felt like a throwaway. I felt like if I died, my life didn't matter. And because of that, I lived a very reckless life. And on three separate occasions, I almost lost my life, right? And maybe you guys can identify with that. Maybe you are in a position right now that's less than, less of a condition that you desire to be in, or maybe you in your past have found yourself in situations where you knew deep down inside that situation, that circumstance, that environment wasn't the best place for you. But as you look back at it, right, or even as you reflect today, you realize that the circumstances that you got yourself into, or the life and the lifestyle that you were once living, could be directly linked to your idea of self and finding yourself unimportant, right? Insignificant, right? Just a throwaway. And I want to talk about today. Now, listen, there are many reasons that people feel less than worthy. There's many contributing factors to someone feeling insignificant, feeling like they're being overlooked, feeling like their life doesn't matter. There's many different things. But today I want to really focus on one specific area, and that is what I call the celebrity culture. The celebrity culture. Let me ask you a question. If I were to ask you, name three celebrities. Let me just pause. Name three celebrities, right? And if you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching by YouTube, you can leave it in the comments field. Name me three celebrities, three people that are, to you, someone, famous, someone that's a celebrity that you know of. Go ahead and list those three in your mind, or if you want to participate, go ahead and list it in the comments below, okay? All right. So you got them in your mind? You put them in the comments? Okay. Now, let me ask you this question. How many of you listed you as one of those people? I'll ask it again. How many of you listed you as one of those three celebrities? See, by definition, celebrity is someone who is in a state of being celebrated. That's all it is, right? It's taken from the root word to celebrate. So how many of you listed your name there? How many of you in your own mind was one of the top 3 celebrities in your life. See, I have a big problem with that, because I know that for the majority of us, if not everyone who watches this, and it's been true of me as well, I didn't put my name there. I didn't list myself. I didn't rank myself. I didn't prioritize myself as someone that I celebrate, as an icon, right? As an American idol, as someone that we hold in such great esteem, right? I didn't put myself there. And what I find is that we live in a culture that has, in many ways, predetermined occupation, social status, possession, certain things, criterias that determine whether or not you are celebrated, exalted, held in high esteem. See, what I find the more that I investigate this idea is that the people that we hold in such high esteem, the celebrities, they're doing their job. Think about this. They're doing their job. If you named an actor, my personal favorite, Denzel Washington. I love Denzel Washington, right? For me, he is the GOAT. He is the greatest actor in my mind, where it matters, in my mind, of all time. He's the greatest actor of all time, Denzel Washington. Okay, so maybe he made my top 3 list, but he's doing his job. He's an actor. He gets paid to act, and he's acting. Or think of an athlete, right? Because they normally rank in our top 3 as well, right? Favorite athlete of all time. For me, it was Kobe Bryant, right? Never been a Laker fan, but I'm a Kobe Bryant fan. And I've always loved his work ethic and loved his approach to the game. Very cerebral, right? Very, very mental, right? Mamba mentality, right? So he deals a lot with the thinking, and so that attracted me to him. So maybe he made my top 3, right? But he played a sport. He did his job. And the list goes on and on. I don't care who you list. When we're exalting these people, when we're putting them on such a high pedestal, when we're looking to them as sources of inspiration, they're doing their job. So why is it that in our culture, we have made the Walk of Fame, stars on the Hollywood Boulevard, right? Big Tinseltown, lights and glam, red carpets, right? Limousines. And we've painted these pictures, we've made superheroes of people who are just doing their job. But the negative impact is that we sometimes then view ourselves as being very small. While we are so busy making them so great, we are unknowingly making ourselves very small. And so I've got just some few ideas and thoughts that I want to share with you this morning, and then I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. But I want to tell you that there are no small roles in this thing called life. You are not insignificant. You are not small. You may be physically small in stature, but you are not small when it comes to your significance in this world. And I want to share with you just a few of my thoughts. I'm going to read them straight off my phone, just some thoughts, because I want to bring an awareness. I want to create and cultivate a consciousness around your greatness. Okay, so let me share some of these with you. Number one, if you are somewhere in your life, or if you're someone that, currently in your life, let me put it that way. If you are someone who is at a place in their lives where you feel unappreciated, where you feel insignificant, where you feel overlooked, I want to tell you, number one, that is a feeling, not a fact, right? I'm going to create a whole nother video on this personal fact check, okay? Because I believe God inspired me with some additional content around this, but I'm going to save that for another video. But those are feelings, not facts. I want to ask you, who is your source, right? Who is your source for your idea of your significance? Because when you're comparing yourself to the celebrities in this celebrity culture, or you're comparing yourself to other people that are within your space, whenever we deal with comparisons and we see ourselves and view ourselves as being so small, I want to challenge that idea. I want to ask you, who's your source? Is it you? Well, if you are your source, if you say, well, ain't nobody told me nothing, I ain't, okay, and if you're your source, then I want to ask you, did you create you? Did you design you? Did you send you into the world? Hold that thought. Or perhaps you say your source is other people, friends, family, co-worker. Did God give them a manual on your life? Where did they get their facts about you? Who gave them the inside scoop about you? See, sometimes it's not even having the answer. Sometimes it's asking great questions, critical questions of ourselves. Because as I've taught so many times before, that questions are a quest I'm on. Take the word quest, I on, question. And wherever our questions, or let me put it this way, when we ask questions, our mind is a problem-solving machine, so it goes to seek. You send your mind on a quest somewhere, right? So when I ask you the question of who's your source, your mind starts to seek. It goes on a quest to discover the answer to it. So sometimes you don't even need the answer to something. Sometimes you just need some great questions to begin to work the brain a little more, right? And produce some of that critical thinking, right? Because sometimes I just want to expose some faulty thinking, some miscellaneous, uninformed thinking, right? And that sometimes, serves you best, right? And so, are you your source? Are other people your source? Is Hollywood your source? Is social media your source? Who's your source? Who or what is telling you that you're small in this larger thing called life, right? Next thing, I want to bring up some facts. I was doing some research. Did you know, I didn't know this, but 85% of the world's population experiences low self-esteem. 85%. When you really break that down, that's alarming. That is to say that almost 9 out of 10 people, right? Because back in school, right, you learned in math that if you reach the 5, then you round up. So 85, you would normally round up to 90. 9 out of 10 people believe that they're insignificant, that they don't maybe see their value, they don't maybe see their worth in this world. See, this is what fuels my fire. This is why I know I have a lot of work to do. Over 85%, guys. And due to this low self-esteem, right? Due to having this low self-esteem, these people, and this may be you, right? Ask yourself, does it sound like you? You tend to fear failure. You tend to procrastinate. You have consistent feelings of being unfulfilled, angry, maybe you're shy, maybe you feel unloved, maybe you feel nervous, indecisive, right? These are all attributes and characteristics of people who are experiencing low self-esteem, unable to esteem themselves highly, while in our culture, knowing more about a celebrity than you know about yourself. You know, I was sitting one day, I think it was earlier this week actually. I was sitting and I was pondering the idea. I was ear hustling. I'm not going to tell you who I was listening to, but I was somewhere and I was listening to some people talk, and they were going on and on and on about this celebrity, right? About this person on television. Oh, they just married so-and-so, and oh, they just did this and they just did that. I mean, they were breaking their life down. And in my own personal experiences, I didn't ask this question of them, but in my own personal experiences, when I have asked people, I say, describe yourself in a very colorful, vibrant, exciting way. I find that it's very difficult for people to do so. When I ask people, tell me 10 fascinating facts about you, I find that people have a difficult time doing so. When I ask people, tell me, what's your strengths, what's your weaknesses, what are you really good at, what do you feel called to do in this world? I mean, basically give me some facts about you. I find that people don't really have a great, clear, consistent, congruent, confident answer when asked about them. Yet, we live in a culture where if I asked you about them, the Joneses, the Kardashians, I don't know, I'm just throwing some names out there, right? You could tell me so many things about them. It's as if our lives, our world is being constructed around what they're doing because they're so great, right? I mean, they got it all, right? I mean, they got it going on, right? The truth is, they're doing their job. Just like if you work at a bank, just like if you work at a restaurant, just like if you work for a medical conglomerate like me, no matter what you're doing, we're doing our jobs. It's an occupation. We get paid to do it. Why is it that they get all the glory and glam and glitz and praise? Why are they considered celebrities? And in our minds, we're considered regular. Just thought I'd ask the question. Okay, let me go on with my facts, okay? A few more things. When it comes to God, these are just thoughts again. Today, I just want to share thoughts. Let it do whatever it needs to do for you, right? Just want to have a conversation. This is a casual setting. I just want to have a conversation with you, okay? In God's eyes, the author of life, the architect of the landscape of life. I just love saying it. He is so awesome. There are no small parts, only big plans. Oh yeah, there are no small parts, only big plans. Now, check this out. You guys have heard me say a million times before that you were not created to simply make a contribution, but you were created to be a contribution to the betterment of our society. That you are, in and of yourself, a contribution. You are contributed into the fabric of life, the landscape of life, right? You are a contribution. And because you are a contribution, then that means that you are a solution to a problem, an answer to a question. That's what contributions do. They solve problems, they answer questions. And I want to offer you this idea that God makes no insufficient investments, no insignificant investments. You didn't get here on your own. You didn't get here by yourself. And if God decided and chose to invest you into the landscape of life, then you have a purpose. And there is a great plan concerning your life. You are not insignificant. You are not to be overlooked. And you are not insufficient, like a bank account with no money in it. No, that's not you. You're full of gifts, of talents, of information, right? Of experiences. You possess the very image, the very nature, the very likeness of God, your creator. So I want you to know that your life is full, but it does take for you to discover what you have. And that's why I'm so dedicated to the idea that the greatest form of self-development is self-discovery. It's about discovering what's already there. A few more thoughts, guys, a few more thoughts. You are the creation of God. If you are the creation of God, then you are the contribution of God. And if you are the contribution of God, then you are significant to this landscape of life. We need you to look the way you look, sound the way you sound, be where you are. We need for you to be in that position. We need for you to be doing that thing. We need for you to be doing it that way. We need you. You're vital. You're important to this larger thing called life. I want to give you a few examples and really kind of bring it home. I was thinking of a pen. Here, thinking of a pen. Okay. Now, if you see this pen is significant, right? This pen is very significant, right? It's very important. But we tend to focus on writing with the pen. We tend to focus on this part of it. This is the part that we glorify. We focus on this one piece, the part that we write with. It's not that it's not important, but think about this. Consider this. You're not going to get to this. You're not going to get to the writing, trying to illustrate it, until you do this. See, there's a mechanism on the inside, a spring that is unseen. We don't even think about the spring, do we? We just grab a pen and we just do like that inherently. We don't even, it don't even click. We just grab the pen, we click it, and we start writing with it. And we love the way that it feels in our hands. We love the color of it. We love what it does. We love everything that we can see, but the things that are unseen, we don't value very much, do we? You know I got a point. You know I got a point with this. See, guys, inside, the part that is unseen, it is vital, it is critical to the success of the pen. Because unless you can click it, you can't write with it. Some of us are in life spring, but we, in this celebrity culture, we glorify the inkwell. We glorify the ballpoint. We glorify the beautiful blue color. We glorify and we obsess over the outer appearance, the aesthetics, but we continue to overlook, devalue, undervalue, underestimate that which is within, the little spring that gets no glory, that gets no play, but it is so critical to the overall function of this pen. This pen does not operate, this pen does not work unless you have the little spring. And maybe you're the spring. Maybe you're the spring on your job. Maybe you're the spring at your church. Maybe you're the spring in your family. And while everyone else is giving credit and kudos and applause and pats on the back and big ups and, you know, all those different things, maybe, it's my little alarm going off here, gotta stop it, right? Because I didn't want to go too long today. But while we're giving all these kudos to all these things that are flashy and colorful and everybody can see them, there you are, working in the background. There you are, being the glue that's holding everything together. There you are, feeling and considering yourself to be small, but yet, without you, nothing else works. Nothing else is held together. Just let that sit on you. Just let that sit on you, guys. That's really all I wanted to share this week, right? I mean, even as I look at my notes, I mean, that's really what I wanted to share, right? I really wanted to just draw your attention to, cultivate a consciousness to, awaken an awareness of what we consider so small to be so significant. What we in our society may consider small, God, in his greater view, greater plan, greater construct of life sees nothing in you small, only significant. You are a contribution to the betterment of our society. But it doesn't matter what I think, doesn't matter what other people think. I'm gonna go there. It doesn't even matter what God thinks. The only one that matters, where the rubber meets the road, as we say, it matters in your mind, in your heart. If you are at a place in your life where you feel small, you feel insignificant, you feel overlooked, I want you to consider the source of those feelings. And I want to challenge you to begin to seek the source of all life for facts. We all experience feelings, but you exist because of facts. The fact that you matter. Does that make sense? I pray that it does. This is Treveal C.W. Lynch, Mr. What, founder of I Am the Possible, author of the new book, What is Enough? But more than anything else, a servant, someone who just wants so desperately for you to see your worth in this world, for you to have an awakening, for you to have a greater awareness of God's appreciation, acceptance, and approval of your life. Will you guys be blessed this week? I'll see you next week. Peace.